It's a complex field, especially user experience, the amount of research that goes into it. It's something really interesting. And as the evolving market and the user needs are changing, the advancements in technology is also evolving. So this is not something which is particular. It can't be a static lesson. It always keeps changing, and there's a lot of new things with the evolving market that comes in.
This podcast is brought to you by Penji. Penji is a creative subscription service that gives you access to pre-vetted, agency-trained creatives from all over the world. From graphic design to illustrations to social media management and web development, it's all included for one monthly price. It's time to say goodbye to the hassle of searching for top-notch creative talent. With Penji, you get quality and consistency delivered right to your inbox every day, carefully crafted for you by humans. So meet your new creative team today. Head over to penji.co for more and enter the coupon code located within the podcast show notes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the First 100 podcast. This is the podcast where we're going to be exploring the journey of entrepreneurs, business owners, agency leaders, and so many more interesting people as they share with us the strategies, the challenges, and the triumphs that have led them to secure those first 100 customers, first 100 followers, first 100. I'm your host, Daniela, and let's go check this out.
And I'm joined with a very special guest, Joffin Joy from Design Extreme. We're so excited to have you today, Joffin. Hi, how are you?
Hello, Daniela. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Really happy to have you here. For people who are new to you and what you are about, people from, our viewers or listeners who don't know, can you give us a little bit of an intro of who you are, what you do?
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone, this is Joffin. I'm basically a senior product designer working at Hugo Sieb. So it's a fintech company based out of Singapore, and we basically deal with helping users with financial well-being. And apart from that, I also am a content creator, a part-time content creator, probably on YouTube. So I generally create tutorials for beginner designers, mostly related to UI UX design. So yeah, that's basically about me.
So you're a designer that focuses mostly on UX UI, right?
Yeah, that's what I focus on. Yeah.
And how did you decide to start content creation specifically on YouTube in your journey of designing?
Yeah, so basically, I started my career on software development. So I was a full stack designer, and even by education, I have my computer science degree. So I started with software development. It was almost like 1 year of my career, the beginning of it. And post that, I kind of was not satisfied with what I was doing. And UX design felt like a really good thing to me. And that's how I transitioned to design. And from when I transitioned to design, it was a self-taught journey. So I had to go through tutorials and stuff. And I found this gap where there was a gap where beginner designers couldn't find answers to a lot of questions. And that's the reason I thought I should, take this gap and fill this. And that's how I entered YouTube and started creating content in terms of UI UX design.
So interesting. I think it's really interesting how much people can learn through social media platforms nowadays, like from a YouTube tutorial, and you basically are self-taught in UX UI, right?
Yeah, definitely. YouTube lets you learn a lot of things. But initially, my career started in design like way back in 2015 or 2016. So during that time, there was not a lot of content on UX UI design. So that's the reason. There were tutorials which were teaching these fundamentals and principles and stuff. But a lot of small nuances which are missed by a lot of content creators was something beginner designers were looking into. And this sort of gap was something I was looking into, and I tried to make it my niche.
Interesting. So you said that you were also working a part-time job, right? So you're doing content creator part-time, and you also have a job in Singapore.
Yeah.
How do you manage your time between both of these things?
I always was kind of doing this as a side hustle, and I work in India. It's a fintech company based out of Singapore. Managing both of this is quite a big challenge. But as you start working on it, there are processes which get set, and things get templatized, and your editing process becomes much easier. So as you work towards it, everything gets seamless, and you have a process in place. So it becomes easier time by time as you keep creating videos.
Good. And how do you feel about your journey on social media? Do you enjoy that more than you do working? Do you prefer designing? How do you feel about being a creator on YouTube in general in this space after you've been in it for so long?
I really enjoy it because the main thing that I really enjoy is helping out people, and that kind of gives me a really good satisfaction. When I see these comments where people come in and say this video has helped a lot, and this kind of solved my issue. So all these comments, reading these comments really gets that happiness in me. So that is one thing which drives me. Helping people has always made me happy. And apart from that, it also opens up a lot of opportunities as well. So because of the social presence, it actually helped me get higher visibility, and also networking becomes a very easy thing for you. So these are two things that I found really good being on social media. So there is something like you don't have to be go big on creating a social media presence. Even like a small personal branding really helps you in a big way, right? So that can get you new leads, and open up a lot of possibilities as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think we have seen a bigger surge of people trying to become content creators nowadays. I think mostly because people see the financial gain that people get from becoming successful content creators, influencers, etc. For those people who are trying to get into the social media space, what would be your advice?
My one piece of advice would be don't be afraid. Try to take up the challenge. So a lot of people, think like I'll start it tomorrow. I'll start it maybe next week. I'll probably get a good camera or probably a good setup and then get started. My advice would be like, don't wait for all that. All those things will fall in place. Once you get started, that is where everything starts to fall in place. So don't be afraid. Take it as a challenge, and get started.
Yeah, that's a great advice. I think it's really important for people to just go ahead and do it. I think if you're too focused on things like setup and camera and microphones, you're never gonna sort of get there, right? Most people start and their first videos are really bad, and then they just start getting better as time goes by.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And something that I that reminds me is my own journey, where I kind of didn't tell that I have a channel to my friends and family until I reached a 10K subscriber mark, because I was too shy of telling this, and I was uh, kind of scared what would people think. And my initial set of videos didn't even have my face in it. It's only after a certain mark that I started showing myself, and that's how my journey went.
Yeah, I can imagine. Being personable, right? Talking to your audience definitely helps give you like sort of an image. Yeah, it's very interesting. And especially in like the UX UI space, I think there's like a very big need for tutorials. I think like you said back in 2015, it was not the case, right? Like there was definitely a lot less content, and I think as social media has grown since, there's definitely a lot more if you look for it. But I feel like, UX UI design is still such a complex sort of discipline, if you will, that I think there's always a need for help, because I feel like as designers, like we at Penji, we do UX UI as well. And I feel like there's always a new question coming up, of how do you do this? Where do you put that? This thing changed, right? So people like you who are staying on top of it and helping are really just kind of like helping out a lot of viewers who are going to your channel for that.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, yeah, it's a complex field, especially user experience. The amount of research that goes into it, it's something really interesting. And as the evolving market and the user needs are changing, the advancements in technology is also evolving. So, this is not something which is particular. It can't be a static lesson. It always keeps changing, and there is a lot of new things with the evolving market that comes in.
So, how do you feel like marketing and social media? I think for us at Penji, we've noticed how much marketing has changed with the appearance of social media. Um, now we focus on Instagram and TikTok and short form videos because that's like what's all the rage right now. And then before, I think we were focusing on YouTube. And so, we still do YouTube, obviously, but I think we kind of have to constantly adapt to what is cool at the time and what is where people are gravitating towards. And social media is very unpredictable. So at least with our marketing, it has really affected the way that we sort of do it. How do you think it has affected the way that you navigate the UX UI designer space in general?
Yeah, one thing that has really affected is the short form content. So, with the rise of short form content, the attention span of people has changed, and so has the way that people perceive things that they see on social media marketing. So, even previously, long form content was something people looked towards, and they were ready to put in your attention to understand these things. But with this release of short form content, I think the attention span has gone down, and people can't stick to a video, so the average view duration goes down, and you need to constantly keep engaging the user. So that is something I find has changed. Yeah, apart from that, like you said, the dynamics and the algorithm of all these platforms keep changing, so you have to constantly keep adapting to the new algorithm and the new kind of trends that keep coming in. So for example, in YouTube, there is a new way for you to test your thumbnails. There is A/B testing. So all these kind of things come into picture, and you have to adapt to these new things to stay ahead of the game.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, for us, it's very similar. So you have to just kind of like, we have like a whole team who is just constantly on the lookout for whatever new thing is coming up. So I think that's just kind of like comes with with the field of working in this, right? Where you just kind of have to like stay up to date with everything. And like you said, short form is just, it's really changed everything.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And TikTok, I think just like in general, because when you boil it down, it's just everything comes from TikTok, and it just sort of bleeds into all of the other social media spaces. So even if you're not on TikTok yourself, I think you're still going to sort of get hit by that wave of influencing. Actually didn't even know. I didn't even think TikTok was going to be that big until it was. When it came out, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. It has changed how people view content, like totally. Like that was a major shift, and a lot of the content creators had to adapt to it, which was a very big change for them. Constantly keeping the user engaged, especially for something what I do is tutorials. So keeping a user engaged during a tutorial is really a challenging thing with all these short form content that have come in.
Yeah, I can imagine, because a tutorial is just like, you're just telling them how to do something, and then they're like, oh, I'm bored. Skip,
Yeah,
skip, right? So it's a bit,
totally. Yeah.
it can definitely be hard to sort of try to find that balance of keeping someone engaged in something like that. And I think I've also seen a surge of tutorial videos or like how-to videos of short form, in a short form manner. Like, have you seen those cooking videos where people just make like the most complicated recipe in 1 minute? So, and I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, if you're seeing that and you're watching people give you this really condensed version of how to do something, you're not going to want to sit through like a 20-minute video, even though the 20-minute video is probably going to be more detailed and more helpful than the 1 minute reel you just watched.
Yeah, totally. So there is always this two category of users, and I get comments from both of them like your video is too long, but there are some people who say you're up to the point. So you always have these two kind of users, and it's a challenge to serve both these audiences.
Yeah, I can imagine. But I think, I mean, from what I've seen from your channel, you're doing really great because I think you've also managed to create a loyal audience, right? Like you have people who are constantly coming in looking for your tutorials, and you have a flow of people who are interested in learning about the stuff that you're saying. So I think that's kind of like the biggest challenge, which is sort of building a following. A real following is you've already passed it, which is the hardest part.
Yeah, building. So it was majorly for me like a good engaging audience who always look towards new UI UX content. So probably trying to build that community. It's going well so far.
Yeah, well, we talked to a lot of influencers who not necessarily on the podcast, just in general, when we're sort of looking and scouting for people who we've seen a lot of people who have maybe like a decent following, even a big following, but their engagement is not very good. And engagement, like good engagement for us, doesn't necessarily have to mean like 1 million views per video, right? But it just means an engaged audience. So if the 400 people watching your video are actually caring about that video, it's a lot more meaningful than if there's 2 million views that are just, bots and things that you bought. And I think like that's kind of where we've seen a surge in that, where there's a lot of people who don't have that authenticity of like a real audience. So for us as a brand, it's concerning because then who are you promoting this to, right? A ghost. Our services, I mean. So with people like you who have sort of real people behind who are interested in what you do and who trust your judgment as well, I think that's like the biggest feat, because whatever you say, that you have an audience who is going to believe what you say.
True. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm trying to build a good community who are interested in design, and that's going so far. And I always ask them not to take a blind decision on what I say, but take mine as an opinion, and they do it that way. So it's going good. Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations on everything with your channel. I think it's been going really great. We're obviously fans. We're UX UI designers ourselves, so I'm pretty sure that someone have probably had to watch one of your tutorials to figure something out.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, so Joffin, it's been great. I wanted to sort of give you the space right now to promote anything that you want to talk about, or any projects that you're working on, or tell people where to find you. I'm going to be adding your links, but so that you can tell people where to find you after this call if they need help with their UX UI design journey.
Sure. So basically, what I'm working on right now is trying to build a new playlist on design itself. So I've been mostly talking about UI design. I'm trying to build a playlist on UX design as well. And apart from that, I'm also trying to build simple tools using AI, simple design tools, which can be found on designextreme.com. So AI is really changing the game, even in UI UX as well. So with this rise of AI and the different tools, UI creation and basic flows will get automated at some point of time. I am a strong believer that AI would take up all this job at some point of time. But it's the major thing like critical thinking and problem solving that AI can't easily replicate, because all these come from things like emotional intelligence and ethical decision making, which I think the AI can't replicate in quite the foreseen future. So I think all these are something that I want to start talking about on my channel as well. So that you can find it on Design Extreme on YouTube, and you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. So I'll be giving the links for my LinkedIn as well. If there's something that you want to talk about UI UX design, I'm open to it.
Okay, amazing. Yeah. Well, everybody, where if you want to talk about UX or UI, you know where to go. I will be adding it all here so that people can go and check you out. I'll be adding all of your links. It's been great talking to you. Thanks for making the time. I'll see you guys next time with another guest for our #Ad podcast.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, Daniela. It's great talking to you and your audience. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
You've been listening to First 100, brought to you by Penji. Check out the show notes to learn more about today's guest. And to learn more about Penji's creative subscription service, head over to penji.co. That's penji.co. Oh, and if you're still listening, it would mean the absolute world to us if you were to share this podcast with a friend. And of course, subscribe.